Hello everyone, in this video tutorial I will show you how to make this lacy stitch. For this stitch you will need yarn in two colors, a matching hook and a stitch marker. It is better to have a stitch marker in this case because you will need every other row you will need to secure one color yarn. The stitch is very easy and only uses 2-row repeat, 1 row with puffs and 1 row with just chains and single crochet. But there is a trick to it. You will need to carry yarn up instead of cutting it every row, and in order to carry it up neat, this virtually doesn't need any borders, you will need a stitch marker to secure every other row. 2 rows are done on right side, this row, and next row is done on right side, then you turn and next 2 rows are done on the wrong side. Well, I call them right and wrong, but when the piece is finished it is reversible. There's no right and wrong to it. Yes, that is right. You first work one way with one color and that same way with another color, and then you turn and repeat the same. This sample is made in Premier Cotton Fair yarn, and I use 3.75 millimeter hook. And for the tutorial I will use a different yarn. It says it is DK number 3, category 3 yarn, but it works all right with the same hook. Or you can try to, I could use probably 4 millimeter hook for this, but it works fine with this. The yarn will be it's called Snuggly. This stitch is better, turns out better if you use yarn that's not very thick. I think DK category 3 is the thickest best. This was category 2, fine. And I think fingering weight yarn would be also great for it. If you use something thicker, I'm afraid will lose the drape and laciness. You can try with maybe worsted weight yarn. This stitch is multiple of 8. The stitch pattern is a multiple of 8 stitches, and you have to add 5. So you make it as wide as you need. Here the base row, this is just base row of single crochet. You can use either chain and single crochet in it, or foundation single crochet, whichever you prefer. So here I have 29 single crochet, 24 as a multiple of 8, and I add 5. And now we will turn and we'll have to add next color. To add a new color, you can just finish your last single crochet with, make the last yarn over with this. So I just undid the top part of single crochet, and I'm going to finish this last single crochet with new color. And now we'll have to chain one for the next row, because it will start with single crochet. We are going to carry yarn up, and we're going to hide it in these chains, in this starting chains. So we will take this first color, color A, we'll call it, put it in front, move it in front of our hook, and now we chain one with our color B. Now we will turn, move all these tails. You won't need these. You can secure this, you can tie a knot or pin them to the bottom so they don't bother you. Move this color away, just leave it, and turn your work, and we will start a row with puff stitches. First, here we chained one already, start in chain one, and we will single crochet in that same stitch, in this first stitch, single crochet. Now chain 3, skip 3 stitches, and you make the puff stitch in the 4th one. Puff stitch, yarn over, insert your hook, and indicated stitch, yarn over, pull up a loop, yarn over, insert your hook in that same stitch, yarn over, pull up a loop, and one more time, yarn over, insert your hook in the same stitch, yarn over, and pull up a loop, yarn over, and pull this yarn through all the loops but one. So now you have 2 loops on a hook. Yarn over and pull through these 2 loops to secure the puff stitch. This last step makes a puff stitch a bit taller, and it is secured on top. Now we chain 3 again, skip next 3 stitches, and single crochet in next. And now we repeat to the end. Chain 3, skip 3 stitches, puff stitch in the 4th one, yarn over, insert your hook and is this stitch, yarn over, pull up a loop, and 2 more times. You have 7 loops on hook. Now yarn over, pull yarn through only 6 loops, leaving this one unworked, yarn over, and pull through these last 2 loops. Chain 3, skip 3 stitches, single crochet in next, and repeat one more time. Chain 3, skip 3 stitches, place puff stitch in next, yarn over once, yarn over twice, yarn over 3 times, yarn over, pull through 6 loops on hook. You have 2 loops on hook left, yarn over, pull this through these 2 loops to complete the stitch, chain 3 again, skip 3 stitches and single crochet in next. Now we will be finishing this row with a puff stitch, so we will make only half repeat and 1 stitch. Chain 3, skip 3 stitches, and we will place the puff in next one, which is the last. Your row will always start with single crochet and will end with puff stitch. So every time your row will start with single crochet and end with puff stitch. So you have full repeats and a bit more than a half. So this is a full repeat, 8 stitches. Now we won't turn our work because our color A that goes next is from this side, and we will be working starting from this side again. We'll be working with this yarn this way, and just in order not to lose our work, in order for this not to unravel, we will need a stitch marker. Excuse me. We will need to place a stitch marker right here. You can use a safety pin. Better to use some locking stitch marker, especially if you're going to leave your work, put it away for a while, leave it on like this. So make sure you don't accidentally unravel your hard work. Secure this stitch. Now we take our color A again and start the next row. Insert your hook in this single crochet, yarn over, color A, pull up a loop, chain 1, doesn't count as a stitch, and single crochet in this same stitch, in this same single crochet. Now chain 3, skip these 3 chains and single crochet on top of this puff stitch. I'm skipping these 3 chains and we're going to place single crochet on top of this puff stitch. Again, single crochet, and now place single crochet in this single crochet. We'll skip the chains and put single crochet in next stitch. Now we're only crocheting chains here and placing single crochet in stitches. Single crochet on top of puff stitch. Again, chain 3, skip these 3 chains, and single crochet in this single crochet. Again, chain 3, single crochet on top of puff stitch, chain 3, single crochet in, single crochet, and now you will chain 3 for the last half repeat. Chain 3, we're skipping these 3 chains, we single crochet in this stitch on top of puff stitch. But now we will have to change the color, yarn color, because next row will be color B again. Next row will be pink. In order to change the color, we're finishing our stitch with next color. Insert your hook in this loop, remove the stitch marker, and pull this loop through these 2 to finish single crochet. Now we won't need to place stitch marker anywhere because this is the only live loop we have. Now the stitch is called shadow tracery, so it's every other row you're just tracing the previous row with chain stitches. Now we will work the same from the other side. We will chain 1 because the row starts with single crochet, so we will need to chain 1 as a starting chain. In order to carry this yarn that we're not using up, we will place it again in front, under the hook, put it in front, under your hook, and chain 1. This way this yarn is going up and it is like encased in this chain stitch. Now we can turn our work. And now we'll repeat the same. Single crochet in this first single crochet, chain 3, skip these 3 chains and puff stitch in this single crochet. Again, chain 3, skip 3 chains and single crochet top of this single crochet. So what we're making these puff stitches, they're offset. So where there was single crochet in this pink row, we're placing puff stitch. Where there was puff stitch, we're placing single crochet. This way you won't make a mistake. Chain 3, skip these 3 chains and puff stitch here. Up. chain 3, and single crochet in the single crochet, again chain 3, and puff stitch in the single crochet, chain 3, single crochet in the single crochet, and again chain 3, and place a puff stitch in this last single crochet. And now it's time for our stitch marker to secure this loop. Because now again we'll be working from this side with this yarn, tracing our previous puff row, and this is just the repeat. You repeat row with puff stitches, starting with single crochet and ending with a puff, and tracing them with chains in the next row. Chain 1. What we did, I just inserted my hook in this single crochet, yarn over this color A yarn, chain 1 and single crochet in this first stitch, and just repeat this row, which was row 3, to the end. We're doing the same just on this side. Chain 3, single crochet in top of the puff stitch, chain 3, and single crochet and single crochet. I will finish this row off camera. I'll be back with you. Here I almost finished the row, and we will just need to put single crochet in this last stitch on top of puff, and if you continue, you just change your color, which means finish your single crochet with the color, with the working yarn, with the working color that you're going to be using. Insert your hook in this loop and pull it, remove the stitch marker and pull it through. If you're done with your work, if you're done with your simple, with your scarf or wrap, whatever you're making, and you want to finish it the same we started with the row of single crochet, you just finish your stitch with the same yarn, keep the stitch marker here, turn your work, chain 1 and single crochet in every stitch, single crochet in first single crochet, and you can either place a hook inside of this chain stitches or just work in chain spaces. single crochet in every stitch. So you put over 3 chains, so single crochet 3 in this 3 chain space, or single crochet in the single crochet. I'll show you the last row. So you just single crochet across to the end and fasten off. Now I finished this last row of single crochet. As you can see, this stitch is absolutely reversible. It looks the same here. So it's just 2 row repeat. You repeat the row with puffs and next tracing row, and you always start this puff row, you always start with single crochet and end with puff stitch. Thank you for watching. I hope it was helpful.